The next young man I'd like to welcome to the stage has a come as follows. Joseph Gus DenDanto has been selected as a representative speaker. He's the son of Megan Smith and DenDanto of Seal Code. His academic interests fall primarily in the social studies arena, particularly pre-American discovery. He's excelled in all manner of extracurriculars, including show choir, student council. During his junior and senior years, he was the stage manager for the one-act play. Gus has shown great leadership as a senior class vice president. He plans to attend Pappas University or the University of Maine in the fall. Come on, Gus.
Thank you, Mr. Haney, for that wonderful introduction and your back follow. I know that most of you here in the audience have had ample time to hear me talk in the last 4 years, and for that reason, I'll try to keep this speech concise. Before I say anything, I want to thank a few people. We all have people who have helped us along the way here in high school, and I firmly believe that it is our responsibility to thank those people for their presence in our lives. I'd like to thank the custodians here at MDI High School, as well as the administrators. For helping make the education we received here possible. I'd also like to thank Whitey and the chefs for keeping the standards of food here far above normal. I'd like to thank the teachers here at MDI, because without them, this place would have been an empty house. Most of all, I'd like to thank the students here at MDI, because it is the students that truly make a school what it is. And I think that it's fair to say that we made this place pretty amazing. I'd like to give a special thank you to one of our classmates in particular, Riley Heist, who has proved of the utmost value both as a student council president and a senior class officer. And lastly, I'd like to thank the parents here today. They gave us these fine individuals sitting before me. Without them, the morals, values, and genetic beauty simply wouldn't be here. I mean, really, this is an attractive graduating class. We're a class right now. That should be it. I thought of a lot of flowery things I could say to you today. I had a pretty long list of words. Fancy, not so fancy. I had some not too great jokes and some reassurance for you that you were all going really great places in life. I threw that speech away, incidentally, several days ago when I got a really, really awful sunburn. Some of you know, I've heard about it. As many of you know, I'll be working on a lobstering boat this summer with my new boss and what I'd like to think of as my good friend, Ronnie Mazzetti. I've been out on fishing is a new experience to me, and I've been out on the water quite a bit in small crafts, but I have never really traveled in anything so large as a commercial fishing boat. Naturally, I wanted to get the hang of things before my actual job started, go out a few days, learn the ropes, if you will, and that awful pun is intended. So I got up for my first day, I was very excited, woke up at 3 a.m., pretty impressive for this guy. Got dressed in sweats and brought my new gear with me. About an hour out on the water with Ronnie, I found out two very interesting facts. One, I get seasick on anything longer than 15 feet. Two, and more importantly, the boat I'm going to be on all summer, definitely longer than 15 feet. I spent that first day feebly stuffing bait bags, and more often than not, trying to stay out of the way while dry heaving. That was a pretty big setback. What was I going to do? I mean, I had really enjoyed the times on the boat when I wasn't growing up, but third man on a lobster boat, not exactly an ideal position for somebody who gets seasick. Obviously, I had to do something. I went on a rampage through the internet, and within about 5 hours or so, I had found a non-drowsy seasickness medication. So far, it's been working. I didn't expect adversity when I stepped onto that boat. I didn't imagine for a second that I had a problem. But I did. Adversity came, and it's always going to come. No matter what we're setting out to do in life, no matter what our plans are, there's only one guarantee. It's not going to work out quite the way we planned it. Rolling with the punches, or in this instance, the waves, is going to be a part of our journey, whether we like it or not. Challenges and adversity cannot be avoided. They have to be endured while we hang on and hopefully figure out what to do next. Alright, so that was my first day. I returned home worn out, stressed out for the job that I gave my word I would do, and with a remaining headache from seasickness. By the end of that week, I had my meds in hand now. My second day came that Saturday. This one, I was excited for. I woke up, got psyched. I trusted that my medication would work. I believed falsely that my great run-in with adversity was over, and I was going to have a great day. But as some of our track stars here can tell you, once you jumped your first hurdle, you're usually running headlong for your next one. After we loaded the traps for that day, Ronnie, being the phenomenal guy that he is, asked me if I wanted any sunscreen. Sunscreen? This guy? I'm Italian, dude. Thank you. I turned that sunscreen down. As a result, I found it painful to put on a shirt for the next week. Someone tried to show me kindness. That, in and of itself, is truly profound. The world needs kindness, big and small. Be good to others, because that's the only way we can receive goodness in return. Kindness is something we must strive to give, even if that kindness seems as insignificant as sunscreen. We might not get offered a handout very often, but when we do, it shouldn't be an issue of pride, because it's an issue of love. I urge you, take the sunscreen. Now, I've never worked the same summer job for 2 years in a row. I've enjoyed all my jobs, but what I realize now is that I've always been looking for something better. I've been looking for the next opportunity. There's no harm in staying with something you like. There's no harm in enjoying your job or being content where you are. But I urge you not to let fear of the unknown guide your decisions. I went to the local cliffs for the first time this year. Something else you should know about me. In addition to getting seasick and easily sunburned, I'm kind of terrified of heights. I mean really terrified. I let my friends jump off that rock about 8, 9, 12 times before I attempted it. It was terrifying when I did. I stood on the edge of that rock. I looked down into the water. I knew I had to jump. After what felt like hours, I managed to make my feet leave the rock, and a terrifying second later, they found the water. If it's fear holding you back, then throw caution to the wind and take the plunge. I didn't feel happy when I jumped. I didn't feel a sense of accomplishment or pride. I felt scared. But it's often said that we will more often regret the things we avoid rather than the chances that we take. And I believe that. Oliver Wendell Holmes is famously quoted as saying, "Most people go to their grave with their music still in them." And I ask you not to let that happen. Let your music ring out. Declare your passion and your love to the world. Hold on to your tune, whatever it might be, and don't let fear be your volume control. I want to leave you with a few simple messages here today. I want to tell you that adversity will hit. It's going to hit hard, but don't worry, because you can take that hit. I want to tell you that kindness is the only thing that keeps this world breathing. And I want to tell you that when others offer kindness, it's not weakness to accept it, but rather the essence of humanity. And lastly, I want to tell you this. We're going to walk up to a lot of cliffs in our lives, and we're going to have a lot of inner voices telling us to turn back. Jump anyway. Congratulations, good luck, and thank you.
Another hard act to follow. Jane Pappas has also been chosen to speak today. She's the daughter of Yvonne Pappas, Mount Desert, and Steve Pappas of Barry, Vermont. She also lives with her stepfather, Ted Fulchese. In pursuit of her scientific passions, she completed an internship at the MDI Biolab this year. Jane has been a member of the speech team, National Honor Society, jazz, and pep bands. Jane will attend the University of Maine in the fall to study marine sciences and biology. Welcome, Jane Pappas.
Thank you, Mr. Mead, for the introduction, and thank you, Gus and Mr. Quico, for making this very marching of the rear. But, hi everybody, I am truly honored to be speaking here to you today. Thank you to our families and our friends and our teachers for coming to celebrate with us. To my classmates, we made it! This far. This is definitely a time for not only reflection on the past, but also for looking to the future. We've all got dreams and plans and things that we can't wait to have happen. After today, we get to start making those things happen and making our dreams come true, and I can't wait to see what we all do. I know that we're all capable of so much. This is a time in between for all of us, a time for transition, and I know that we're all so excited to be moving on to the next chapter of our lives. In that vein, I've written something a little different from your traditional graduation speech for this occasion. This is a spoken word poem I've written for us, the class of 2014, called Roots and Wings. We grew up pebbles, planted by our parents at the foot of mountains on an island made of granite, and we called it home. The air was thick with salt and pine, and the promise that we too would grow up to be mountains, or at least move them. We planted petals left by changing tides and never once questioned whether the water would return. The love affair the ocean has with the shore is constant here, and there was never any meaning. When we got bigger, dizzied by circumstance and blinking in the sunlight, we climbed up the mountains where our roots had dug in, and we tried to make changes to the rhythm of the tides, and we were discouraged that one pebble cannot change the course of oceans. But this isn't about mountains. This is about the pebbles who were planted here, who grew up into people, solid as rocks. People with stories and pasts and early morning paintings across the brightening sky. We've all seen a few beginnings in our time. We've all witnessed a few mornings. This is about the wings we grew as we got older, and how we soared the skies looking like seagulls and laughing all the while. And our parents looked on and kept a hold on our trailing strings and tethered us to the ground like kites. It wasn't time for us to fly away just yet. This is about the time soon when we realize that while one pebble cannot change an entire ocean, the splash it makes in a tide pool will always cause ripples. And this is about those ripples becoming waves, and this is about us. This is about the doctors and the pharmacists and scientists and technicians and dancers and singers and teachers and artists and travelers and the beautiful, beautiful people I see before me, poised to leap out from our mountains, wings stretched wide, strings cut free. This is about the splashes we can make, the waves we will make, the change we all can cause, because there is no such thing as small change. This is about the responsibility we have to make small changes and keep making waves. This is about all the wrongs we can right and every day's change from dark into light, and this is about us. We've been throwing pebbles and making waves already. We've all been practicing. We're finally ready. And this is about the ocean. It's been making waves for eons now, all on its own. But it has no idea what's about to hit it. Thank you.